continuing with our Lenten journey through the Passion narrative of the Gospel of Luke. We left off talking about the reality that Judas was identified by Jesus, not by name, but identified by Jesus as the one who would betray. And we can immediately begin to assume that the disciples started to look among themselves to try to figure out who it was. And maybe there was even the sense of, it's not me, right? Looking around, seeing who else it could be, but also in the back of their minds thinking, I don't think it's me. But we get that, because it could have been any one of them. So I want to share with you how the story progresses. We start in verse 24. An argument broke out among the disciples over which of them should be regarded as the greatest. That's probably an argument you have when you're trying not to be labeled as the one who's going to betray. But Jesus said to them, "The kings of the Gentiles rule it over their subjects, and those in authority over them are called friends of the people. But that's not the way it will be with you. Instead, the greatest among you must become like a person of lower status, and the leader like a servant. So which one is greater, the one who is seated at the table, or the one who serves at the table? Isn't it the one who is seated at the table? But I'm among you as the one who serves." Jesus gets this. He completely gets the status quo. He understands where the disciples are likely coming from. Yes, maybe trying to divert from the fact that it could maybe be one of them. But also, this is what their world is. Their world is built up of those who are in leadership roles and those who are in servant roles. At least that's how they see it. And so they're trying to figure out who is going to be the leader, who's going to be the cream of the disciple crop. And Jesus says, you're trying to figure this out based on your assumptions of what my kingdom is. And if you haven't figured it out, it's almost as Jesus is saying, if you haven't figured it out yet, my kingdom is nothing like the kingdoms of this world. Who would you expect to be the one in charge of the table? The one seated at the table. But I'm among you as the one serving. He's changing the entire script. He's changing every assumption they've had about what it means to be a leader in this movement of a new way, a Christ-like way. To lead means you serve. To be empowered means that you humble yourself. It's different than every other thing we see around us. And so it makes sense that the disciples don't quite get it yet. But now is their time to figure it out. Ours too. Amen.